Hey everybody, this is Dustin with Team Conti Sim Performance. This is a race run replay for Rockingham. This is our year 25 season 2 week 5 official series race. This is again a 30 lap race run. I'll be chiming in as I see things I do right or do wrong, which at this place there's probably a little bit more on the wrong side. Rockingham's a tricky place, saving tires to have long run speed. Knowing when to do that, knowing when to go. In practice, I'll show you here, I was able to, with this same race setup, I was able to run the top, that wasn't it, for just a hard 5 lap run just to see what it would do late run or late race, what it needs, what you can run. Running the top, I was able to hit low sevens. Obviously, a mistake there on lap 4, but back to a 9 on lap 5. Just something to keep your eye on. Get back to this race run here. It has good short run speed up on the top. On the bottom, early run, it's a little bit edgy. So, in a late race, you gotta go situation, it might be best to just rip the top. It'll also be very hard for anybody running the bottom to clear a pass if you're out there. That's just kind of the nature of this place. Again, for the race run, you notice it is a little edgy to start, so keep that in mind. Out of 2, out of 4, it'll want to try and step right there in the center. It had to chase the rear up the hill a little bit. So keep that in mind. It's built that way so it doesn't just wear extremely tight throughout a run. I checked for damage there, I had none. So we continued with the run. And that was just a case of me unwinding the wheel too early. I just kind of misgauged where the right side of the truck was. I could be better about my throttle inputs in the center of 3 and 4. Again, there's that early run loose. This run was done on looser, just to let everybody know. So it's already inherently a little more free. Benchmark has a little more cross weight and a small spring change, and then tighter, it's about 1% higher in cross. So it'll wear tighter if you abuse the right front, but it's a lot more stable. Missed the entry a little bit there, a little late to the brakes. You do that, don't panic and try to turn it down to the bottom immediately. The way turn 2 tightens up so much, you don't really want to get back to the middle and then set your trajectory to the wall too early. You want to make sure that you're down there on that yellow line at exit. Review what I just did right there. That was an example of what not to do. Overslowed a little into 3 and then just mashed throttle exit because that overslowed. had to come back out of the gas to keep it out of the wall. So be mindful of that. Your initial slowdown is important, but so is your roll speed. If you can roll speed without brake or throttle, and carry speed, you're going to be a lot better on the tires. That was a much better 3 and 4. Completion of lap 10 here. Again, overcharged one a little bit there, lost the bottom in the center, but was able to kind of late apex it and maintain speed. Keep that in mind. Don't panic if you miss the bottom into one. But don't abuse your tires to get back there. Kind of running a mild diamond there. Just pinched my exit. That's the only reason I got loose there. This looser setup does kind of wear a little free, so you'll start to see that now. 17 laps into the run. It keeps good drive off as long as you don't over rush your center or rush to the throttle too hard. Like I say in the notes, club foot in the throttle is going to make you pay on an abrasive track. Wheel spin is pretty high compared to a fresher surface, which will induce heat into the rear tires and wear. You could run this setup wrong and be spinning out on lap 15, or you could run it wrong and be tight even on a looser setup. So driver inputs is absolutely crucial. Pay attention to what the truck's telling you. Like, you know, if you're wearing it tight, you know, make sure you're taking care of that entry. If you're wearing it loose, be a little more smooth on your throttle input, center exit. 20. You'll start to get used to those sights and sounds of and feel of when it's going to step out and where on the track it's going to do it, and you can anticipate that pretty well. It's pretty drivable through a slide. You don't want to overdo it though by any means. Let's go back to that one. Rush center. I missed the bottom, then rush center. Didn't get it back to the bottom, and then had all the wheel in it to keep it out of the wall, and it snapped. So keep that in mind. There's a good little swale right there out of 2 that if you're right in the middle of it and it loads the front tires immediately, it will try and step. So I moved to the top now to try and see if it's going to influence how the truck drives. Thought maybe it might tighten it up a little bit. I don't know that it affected the balance at all. It really didn't feel like it did. It just continued to feel a little on the free side. Running the top, it's a lot like qualifying, other than you do want to enter a little further off the wall, because obviously you're on older tires here. You don't have the grip that you do in Q, and you would just have to over slow and park your entry and kill all your momentum if you were to enter a little bit higher, just to keep it off the wall. So use the space that you have, and then use your added speed to continue to make lap time. But overall, it's very drivable, even though it is kind of favoring the right rear. Dropped a lot of lap time right there, moving back to the bottom, but it wasn't a very clean lap. Starting lap 30 now. And a 3 on 30. Couple things I want to point out. These last 2 laps. Into 1 on the second to last lap. I'm out of the gas very late. Let's try and find a marker here. Oh my goodness. So we roll out there. Let's see what we can find. I mean, you can see how far past the rock side I am there. Um, really nothing for markers. Um, but then let's look at the next lap in the same spot. We're out of the gas way earlier. You see those braces on this upright? I was a good car length and a half past that when I lifted last lap, or on lap 29. Here on lap 30, it was before I got there that we rolled out. And the difference in lap time was 2/10. That's really all it was. If you look at this lap, just charge it, chase up the hill. Rear's already mad. Then coming off the corner, turning it back down, it stepped out. Whereas the next lap, with an earlier lift, it just drove up the hill, and then it drove back down the hill. So um, keep that in mind. You can help yourself out. You may think you're giving up time by not by lifting early and not carrying throttle through the corner or deeper into the corner, but really it's all about how you enter, and you can gain a lot of time by and save a lot of tire by really minding your entry, especially into one. Turn three, a lot more forgiving because the beginning is the tight part, but don't let that fool you either. You can abuse a lot of tire in turn three. Anyway, that is the race run replay for Rockingham. I wish you all the best of luck, and need anything throughout the week, let us know. Thank you for choosing Team Conti Sim Performance. Good luck.